Hey, by the way, tonight's game, New York wins that outright.
You know he's on top. Million subs, he never gonna flop. Out of Chicago, where the streets don't sleep. Betting on games, making cash real deep. Crystal ball for sports, he knows the lines. He's a sports aficionado, the money he finds. From football to basketball, he's always on point. Predicting winners never disappoints. He's got that hustle, that Chicago vibe. Making moves on the streets, cash on the side. With E, you know it's always a bet. He's the king of the game, never forget.
Hello and welcome to the Etoft21sports Show. For March 10th. How is everyone doing? My name is Erik. I'm the man behind Etoft21sports. Absolutely loaded episode for you today. My boy Wade, aka Proven Wagers VIP, he got hacked on the X. He's Proven Wagers VIP. He's going to come on. Him and I are going to share our bets for tomorrow's loaded college basketball slate for conference tournaments. And Gino will have his horse racing bet of the day from Santa Anita. But before I get all in that, I'd like to say thank you to the sponsor of the show, ProphetX. Guys, if you're not using ProphetX, go to the App Store, download the ProphetX app. You need to understand that this peer-to-peer betting market is the future of sports betting. Now, let's see what our boy Gino has a cooking for us with his horse racing bet of the day over at Santa Anita, but it looks like that did not load for some reason. So I apologize for that. We're going to get that on in a little bit. But before we do that, let's go ahead and let's bring this week's guest, my boy Wade, to the show. Wade, how are you doing today, my man?
What's going on, man? Glad to be back.
I'm doing pretty good, man. How you doing, bro?
Other than my X account getting hacked, we are still plugging along, trying to get picks to our members and trying to figure out a way to keep getting free picks out to everybody. So, yeah.
Yeah, dude, like you and our boy Mike both got old hackety hack, dude, on the old X account. So, guys, if you're watching on X, I'm telling you guys, if you're watching on X, please get that two-step verification going, because you could be the next one that got hacked. One of us, I'm just saying, knock on wood, one of us did the two-thing prawn after our friend got hacked. Another one did not.
Yeah, I did not think about it.
I still love you, man. That's all I'm thinking about you.
Yeah, it's all good.
Interesting weekend of college basketball. What did you think? Anything stick out to you, my friend?
Not really. I think I'm just more interested in seeing which one of these favorites can get knocked off the board. I know everybody's pretty high on Duke and Arizona and those guys right now. I actually think those teams can get knocked off in their conference championships. I don't think it's going to be chalk to win these titles in the conference games. So I'm pretty excited to see how this week and this weekend shapes out.
My takeaway is, look, dude, I absolutely love this time of year. I love it. I live for this. Conference tournament like this weekend and out in Vegas is phenomenal. And I love these mid-major tournaments. There's nothing like the drama. But this past weekend, that 13-14 line got a lot weaker. Central Arkansas losing. My boy, Carmen Hunter, not being there is brutal. He's a guy that can put a team on his back. He almost did it against Queens. Then you got UMC Wilmington, Belmont, and their elite offense. UT Martin, all the Euros they have who play 4 out. Navy, which has been a covering machine. ETSU going down. My boys at St. Thomas going down. Teams that would appear on the 13 and 14 line, they're all out. This first weekend of chaos I thought we could potentially have is going to lose some luster. Now, when we look at it right now, let's look at bracket matrix. Northern Iowa. Yeah, they can defend, but can their offense produce enough in a one-and-done scenario when they need to score? Liberty struggles on the glass. Utah Valley, we don't even know if they're in. Did they pay? I don't know if you saw that. They need to pay $1 million to the WAC because they're exiting the conference. If they don't pay, they're not going to be allowed to play. Yep. And they're the number 1 team by far in that conference. We got Troy. Don't get me wrong. They showed flashes. They beat San Diego State on the road. They lost to USC by 1 on the road, but they've been so inconsistent. Hofstra is Hofstra, time sneaky. Other times they're trash. North Dakota State can't defend. UIC Irvine, they're solid rebounding, but we don't even know if they're going to be able to beat Hawaii in the championship game. It's frustrating, though, because those are the mid-majors that have had great seasons, but one bad game can cost them a shot at the dance. That's the beauty and the heartbreak of these tournaments. So much potential, yet one night can derail the story. The team I was really watching to win on that line was St. Thomas. I thought St. Thomas could have got it done with what they had, but unfortunately they're out, and unfortunately I don't know. Unfortunately, I may be going all chalk, dude, this first round. And you know what, dude? I fucking hate myself for saying that, dude.
It's gonna be tough not to.
And I'm not going to lie, my computer is going haywire right now. Can you still see me?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So I got the video queued up now. Let's go see what our boy Gino has cooking for us over at Santa Anita.
Been waiting for this one to come back for a few weeks. Grogu in race number 7 at Santa Anita on Saturday. So this is the number 1. This horse is 20-1 on the morning line. Been watching Grogu the last couple races. Actually bet him the last 2 times. Both of these starts, he had legitimate trouble trips. He just had no chance, steadied, in all sorts of trouble. Both his last 2 starts, they were both against much tougher in graded stakes races. Now you're going to get some class relief. He gets the inside draw. I think it's a sneaky spot for Grogu, who is 20-1 on the morning line. I mean, he should be more like 8, something like 6 to 8 in this race. So anything above that feels like very fair value. So best of luck this week playing the races, and make sure to tune in to listen to Erik for the best information in sports each and every week.
Make sure to give my boy Gino a follow at It's Me, Gino B. Funny story. So last weekend was the final weekend to qualify for the World Series of horse betting. So you have these satellite tournaments. If you do well in the tournament, if you win the tournament, you can get in. Son of a bitch, dude. I look at the results. Guess who's on the top of the leaderboard? Our boy Gino.
No way. Nice.
Text Gino. I'm like, hey man, congratulations, dude, man. You know, you deserve it. Blah, 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 whatever. Sends me a text message back. Thanks. That's actually my dad, though. It was actually his old man.
That's awesome.
So that was actually kind of funny. But Gino's definitely going to be out there. He's going to be covering the event for DRF.com. So guys,
where's this at?
In Las Vegas, dude. Okay. If you do these satellite tournaments and you win it, I think you qualify for the tournament, and I think in some of them they'll pay for your flight out there too.
Okay.
Dude, maybe you got to get into horse racing, dude.
I don't know, man.
But conference tournament. This is when I like to have you on weekends like this, where I can really pick your brain. Had you on the final. I like having you on the tough weeks because I know you bring your A game, dude. You're on the final week of the NFL and killed it. This is why I had you on this week, because there's still games going on. A lot of these lines, some of them aren't even out. They're early lines. So really interested to pick your brain. Personally, I'm excited. I am going to be going to the Big Ten tournament on Thursday.
Nice.
So I'm going to be down there at the UNC. Guys, full honesty, I'll probably be getting a little loose, dude. It's been a while since I've gone out, and going to turn it up a little bit. I'm supposed to meet have you ever been to the Billy Goat?
I believe I have been there maybe once.
We are rendezvousing at 8:30 in the morning. First game's at 11. Should be fun going in there, bro. Should be fun going in there, man.
I miss those days. I really do miss those days. I've been to pretty much a whole Big Ten tournament before when it was down in Indy. Those are pretty fun days.
It's a fun day. It's a fun tournament. But let's go ahead. Let's jump into it. And we both have a bet in the early game. Goes off 11:30 Eastern time. First game of the day. What's your bet, my friend?
Yeah, I guess I'll start us off here, and I'm just going to go with St. Bonaventure minus 5.5. Best odds right now are minus 114. I was hoping we could maybe get down to minus 5. If I get minus 500, minus 125, I'd probably pull the trigger there, but I'll take the minus 5.5 for now. Look, man, they just come into this matchup with, I think, a clear offensive advantage that shows up across several key metrics. They average over 76 points per game, shooting just over 52% effective field goal percentage, while LaSalle sits significantly lower offensively at around 66 points per game, while also being much lower efficient shooting the basketball. And I think that gap in shot quality and scoring consistently is going to be a big reason why St. Bonaventure is going to be able to stay competitive throughout the game and then just kind of take over in the second half. Another area where St. Bonaventure has a real edge is shot creation and ball movement. The Bonnies average nearly 16 assists per game compared to roughly 13 for LaSalle, which I think tells you a little offensive, generating better looks, sharing the basketball. And I think when a team can do that and they can also score at a much higher pace, I think they'll be able to cover the number of -5.5. Rebounding and second chance opportunities also favor St. Bonaventure in this matchup. They hold a pretty strong advantage in offensive rebounding rate and total rebounds per game, which I think is going to also generate extra possessions and possibly extend scoring opportunities. LaSalle team really doesn't rebound very well. They're ranked near the bottom in several defensive efficiency categories, and I think those extra possessions are just going to be too costly. So I think overall St. Bonaventure is the better team. And I think 6 points is fair here.
Did you see the thing that came out with Wojo and the Wojo files?
I did not.
I will have to send you that link. It's a pretty crazy read. This guy obviously is a Bonnies fan and not too pleased with Adrian Wojciechowski. My bet in there, as I'm going to the Bonnies on LaSalle, under 68.5 for the first half. Historically speaking, when we look at this over the last 20 years, first half unders in the opening round of the A10 tournament hit about 59% of the time. When it's the first game of the tournament, actually climbs up to 60%. Early tournament games tend to start slow as the teams settle in. Possessions become more deliberate. Tempo is another major factor here, and neither of these teams are played fast. According to Ken Palm, LaSalle ranks 279th nationally in tempo. St. Bonnie 6th at 191st. That means both teams are comfortable operating slower half-court sets rather than pushing the pace, which naturally limits possessions in the first half. Coaching trends also support this. Schmidt's teams at St. Bonaventure historically lean toward first-half unders, hitting around 65% of his time during his tenure. His teams typically emphasize defense, control tempo, and physical play early. Looking at scoring profiles, neither team generates huge first-half production. St. Bonaventure averaged 35 points per game for the first half, ranks around 179th nationally, when LaSalle averaged roughly 33.9 first-half points to 228th nationally. Those numbers suggest fairly moderate scoring environment. Shooting efficiency is another reason to expect a slower start. Neither team is particularly strong. LaSalle is shooting just around 40% from the field for the season. Bonnie sit around 46%. Both teams are stronger on the glass than they are offensively, which leads to longer possessions, more half-court battles, and whatnot. LaSalle has done a better job getting to the free-throw line, but the Bonnies don't foul. So that's another reason not going to get those free points. Even when these teams met early in the season, scoring profile still supports the under long term. This January, it was 78-74. First half total of 75 was actually well above these teams' norms. In that game, LaSalle shot unusually well from three, and both teams were effective at the free-throw line. That type of efficiency, unlike to repeat itself. Season-long trends support something closer to a slower, more controlled start. LaSalle has struggled offensively, especially from deep. Bonnies typically ramp up scoring later in the game. When you combine the historical trends, slow tempo, both sides, modest first-half scoring average, and insufficient shooting profiles, projects a grinded out first half. Give me the under 68.5 for the first half, my friend. You are going to the Big East next, my friend.
I am, and I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to go with Providence here. Money line -120. Best odds right now out there. I wouldn't go any higher than -130 on a money line, possibly even -125 at that rate. I just take the -1.5 if you're like the Providence side. But they do come in this matchup with one of the more efficient offensive profiles between these two teams. The Friars are averaging over 85 points per game while shooting nearly 55% effective field goal percentage. which highlights just how consistently they are at generating quality scoring opportunities. Butler, on the other hand, sits noticeably lower in both scoring production and shooting efficiency, which can make it difficult to keep pace when facing an offense that is this productive. The efficiency advantage for Providence shows up across multiple scoring areas. They shoot nearly 48% from the field overall and 55% inside the arc, which gives them a reliable interior scoring presence. And when a team can consistently finish around the basket and convert high percentage looks, I think it forces the opposing defenses to collapse, and it'll open up additional scoring opportunities throughout the offense. Providence also holds an advantage in overall rebound production, pulling down over 35 rebounds per game and ranking well ahead of Butler in that category. Controlling the glass should allow the Friars to limit second chance opportunities while creating extra possessions on the offensive end, which becomes especially valuable in competitive conference games, especially with a spread of 1.5 here. Another important factor, I think, is how Providence has performed across broader power rating metrics. The Friars grade out stronger in predictive ratings recent from over the last 10 games to the overall conference performance. And I think those indicators just suggest a team that's been playing a little bit better basketball recently and maintaining just a higher level of consistency overall. Butler does draw fouls at a strong rate, but I think Providence can offset that with a more efficient shooting profile and a stronger overall scoring production. So as long as Providence is hitting their shots, I think they'll be able to stay in this game and potentially win it at the end of the game here.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry, man. I'm on the Butler Bulldogs plus 1.5. So Providence can win by 1, and we're both good.
Yeah, sure. I think it's going to come down to like the last 2 or 3 possessions, which who's going to make the mistake for Hero.
One of my biggest angles in college basketball is if you watch my shows, listen to me on podcasts, I fade Kim English as a favorite. In the regular and postseason, his teams are just 41.2% ATS with a negative ROI at 21%. When you look at him at Providence, it dips down a little bit to 42.1% against the spread, minus 19.6% ROI. Another reason I like Butler is when we look at the last month, which is 7 games, a good sample size. Bartovic has Butler ranked as the 59th best team in the country, Providence 93rd. So despite Butler being the underdog, the recent performance metrics suggest these teams are much closer. Butler could actually be better. Providence has been extremely sloppy with the ball over the last 7 games. They're averaging about 20 turnovers per game, which ranks 353rd nationally, while they're only forcing about 11.6 turnovers, which is 357th nationally. That kind of turnover differential makes it difficult to consistently create separation in games. Shooting regression also points toward Butler in this matchup. Over the past 5 games, Providence has been shooting 40% from 3, and their opponents have been shooting just 28% from deep. Both those numbers suggest regression is coming. Providence is likely cooling off, and opposing teams should begin shooting closer to their normal percentage. At the same time, Butler has been shooting just 27% from 3 over the last 5 games, which is well below their normal numbers. That suggests Butler is due for some positive shooting regressions. This could easily be the spot where their numbers start to normalize. Another advantage for Butler is their ability to get to the free-throw line, as you mentioned. Over the last month, they have done a great job generating free-throw opportunities. Providence is a team that tends to send their opponents to the line in close games, small spread. These free points can make a big difference. When you combine the recent performance metrics, turnover issues for Providence, likely shooting regression on both sides, Butler's ability to get to the line, and the historical fade of Kim English as a favorite, that sets up for a strong situational spot. So I'll take the Butler Bulldogs, the pride of Indianapolis.
It is indeed.
Plus 1.5. All right.
Well, hey, we can still cash both. Be correct.
You guys see Bam. Yeah, we're talking about before this. Bam dropped 83
that's crazy
tonight, which is absolutely insane.
Nuts.
Also, some late breaking news. The Max Crosby trade fell through. He failed his physical, which is
I think he definitely sabotaged that shit. He didn't want to go there. He wants to be a Raider, man.
Nah, dude. Are you kidding me, dude? I mean,
the Raiders are going to be a little. Did you see all the moves that the Raiders have already done? I think the Raiders are going to be in a really good position if they draft well.
That's a big if, dude. But
I know. I'm just saying. Did you not like all their moves they've done so far?
they've done some solid stuff. Their
They've done some good
defensive
stuff.
and offensive line will be better for sure.
Yeah.
They need to. It's going to be interesting though, because all their moves were done with the thought that that Crosby wasn't going to be there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
sure.
So like now, like how does that shift? That's the biggest what if now. And teams have made moves. Teams plan on him not being there. How is that going to shift? And which team are we going to see? You still have Trey Henderson on the market. It's going to be there's still some guys that can make some moves. My Lions, Jesus Christ, they signed Pacheco.
Yeah, the Vikings better do something, man. This is getting ridiculous.
Dude, you're going to get Kyler Murray, dude. How's that make you feel, dude?
I will throw up. I'm about if we sign Kyler Murray, I'm officially done with the NFL. I'm done. I'm done.
My boy Sports Facts, who always gives me shit. I did not bet Oklahoma State today, and with that question, I'm going to guess they are losing. Oh, they're actually winning at halftime.
I saw Gonzaga was losing.
Yeah, Gonzaga was losing to Santa Clara. I'd love to see Santa Clara get into the big dance.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a huge thunderstorm right now, and there are some tornadoes in the area. Did I ever tell you the story? I'm a tornado survivor, my friend. I am a tornado. I was in a tornado in college, dude. A fucking survivor.
Well, were you like holding on to a pole?
So I was supposed to be in business law, and one of my roommates was on the football team. I elected to go work out there with those guys on the football team instead of going to B-Law. We're at the football stadium. We're just doing some sprints and everything. It poured. You know, we were still working out. Got perfectly clear. Sky got a funky green color. And then Max points up, and we just see the thing coming down. We ran over. We grabbed the rail of the stadium. Okay. Dude, we got swung up in the air. It felt like a half an hour. Reality was probably 5 seconds. Okay. But it felt like it was a half an hour. Came crashing down. Fucking the Weather Channel came to our school. Like we had no power, no electricity, nothing. I didn't have any way of getting a hold of my parents. My parents had no idea if I was alive or dead. Yeah, it was quite a scene, my friend.
Back in the time when nobody would have caught that on a cell phone, standing outside.
I mean, Jesus, dude. But yeah, it's the good old days, man.
That's insane. That is an absolute insane story.
I'm telling you, man. Like I was talking about this. I am so glad I went to college when there was no fucking social media, dude.
Yeah, it was definitely better for sure.
You know, the bullshit I get.
Although I actually do remember my freshman year. I remember them sitting us down. I can't remember what class it was, but they sat us down and they made everybody in the school have a Facebook account because it was like back then that was like a university thing.
Yeah,
it started as a school thing.
I mean, geez, dude.
That tells you how old we are.
Oh, dude, I'm older than you. I'm old as shit, dude. I'm such an old. That's why they call me Old Uncle Rico, man. But let's go ahead. We regress. We got two more bets.
That's just your pepper. That's just the pepper look.
Just the pepper, dude. I'm old, man. I'm old, dude. Dude, I'll tell you this. I never told you this. I'll tell you because sometimes I'll share my dating stories here. So, Jesus, this is gonna make me sound like such a fucking asshole. So I was, I was dating this girl at the beginning of the year. I was really into her a lot. Stuff fell through. Did my little hit the gym hard. I'm down 30. Dude, I'm down 33 pounds on January 5th, dude. Matched with this lovely 36-year-old on Bumble, dude. Lovely 36. Her and I are going back and forth. We're talking and everything. Tells me how she's going back to school for her MBA. I'm like, oh shit. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that's going to take a lot of time, but you're busy too. That kind of works out good. Then she goes on me. She goes, and I have 3 kids. I just wrote back, no. I just wrote back, no, unmatched, dude. Because like, dude, hear me out, man. Hear me out. Those are 3 little kids. Like,
it's better than ghosting her. At least you gave her an honest answer.
You know what I mean? Like those are three little kids. Plus, she's going back for an MBA, dude. You know what I mean?
You don't mess with that, man.
I just replied no, but we regress. I'll try to. Let's get back to betting, dude. No one cares about my dating life. Next bet, my friend.
Yeah. Depending on where you look, this is like -7.5 some books. So I do believe by morning this might just be fully -7.5. But we'll see. -6.5, I believe, was available over on MGM for Colorado State. They had a for -115. Colorado State enters this matchup with one of the most efficient offenses between the two teams. The Rams are shooting nearly 60% effective field goal percentage, which ranks among the top shooting teams in the country, and it highlights just how consistently they are generating those quality looks. The efficiency shows up across multiple areas of this offense. Colorado State is also shooting nearly 50% from the field and close to 40% from three-point range, giving them the ability to score both inside and from deep. And when a team is shooting that well across the board, I think it just becomes extremely difficult for opponents to keep pace especially in round ones and round twos of these types of conference tournaments. The Rams also move the ball offensively well, average nearly 16 assists per game, which reflects on an offense that's built on creating shots rather than relying on kind of isolation scoring. I think that type of offensive structure tends to produce consistent scoring runs over the course of a full game, where we might see them go on a 7-0 run, 8-0 run, even a 10-0 run here, where the other team just can't catch up. Just looking at the broader team power rankings as well, Colorado State grades higher in predictive ratings, recent form over the last 10 games, and both home and road performance metrics. And with a stronger offensive efficiency and overall ratings profile, I just think the Rams have a clear advantage here to win this game by margin.
I like it. My next one, and dude, I hate laying these big numbers. I hate laying these big numbers.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I mean, I don't love the Colorado State, but
I normally hate laying big numbers, but when we're talking about conference tournaments where teams tend to play tighter games, this is one of those situations where the matchup and motivation strongly points one direction to start. LSU has looked like a team that simply just wants to go through the motions right now, trying to find a way to get the season over. On the flip side, Kentucky should be fully locked in. Pope has talked about wanting his team peaking heading into March, and the Wildcats should approach this game with a mindset of playing a full 40 minutes. The previous meeting between these teams should actually provide some motivation. The last time they played Kentucky, they actually fell behind by 18 points before storming back to win the game by 1. That type of experience usually prevents a team from overlooking their opponent next time around. Kentucky knows exactly how dangerous this LSU team can be if they come out flat. Historically speaking, small sample size, Kentucky last 20 years has only been in this first round of the SEC tournament 3 times. They've covered every single time. From a statistical standpoint, Kentucky clearly has the edges as well. On KenPom, Kentucky ranks significantly higher in both offensive and defensive efficiency. The Wildcats carry an adjusted offensive ranking of 121.5 and an adjusted defensive ranking of 100.1, giving them a strong overall net ranking. LSU trails in both areas, particularly on defense, where they rank well outside the top 100 nationally. LSU also has struggled badly against quality competition this season. They are 0-6 in quad 1 games and just 1-11 combined in quad 1 and quad 2 matchups, which shows they have consistently struggled while facing stronger teams. Rebounding, another major factor for Kentucky. Over the last month, per Bartorovic, they rank 30th in offensive rebounding, while LSU ranks around 295th in defensive rebounding during that same stretch. That mismatch should allow Kentucky to generate second chance opportunities and control the glass throughout the game. Turnovers are usually Kentucky's biggest weakness, but LSU may not be able to take advantage of it. Over the last month, LSU has forced just 11.7 turnovers per game, which is 354th nationally. That lack of defensive pressure should allow Kentucky to operate more comfortably on offense. LSU also sends opponents to the free throw line at a very high rate, allowing 33 free throw attempts per game, which ranked 295th nationally. That gives Kentucky another opportunity to create easy points. When you combine the motivation edge, the efficiency gap, the rebounding mismatch, and LSU's defensive issues, this matchup sets up very well for Kentucky. So even though I normally avoid laying these bigger numbers in tournament settings, this is one of those spots where the situation and the matchup both point in the same direction. I'm laying the points here, and I hate my life for doing it. Give me Kentucky minus 7.5.
Nah, dude, I love it. I want to do it with you, and I think that if anybody out there doesn't hate juice, you can get -7 for -126 over on ProphetX right now.
Oh man,
I like this up to -8, so that's kind of where we are.
Our boy TC chimes in. Minnesota covers against Rutgers. What do you think about that, dude? The Golden Gophers.
I don't even remember what that spread was, to be honest with
Last
you.
time I
Really
looked, I
dive
saw
into that game.
4.5 when I was doing my notes, dude.
Huh? 2.5?
I saw 4.5. 4.5.
Oh.
I mean, I like that one. I think the Gophers could get it done. They seem to be peaking at the right time. TC did.
Yeah, I think so too.
My old ass is going to be out in United Center on Thursday. For anyone seeing me, stop by, say hi. I'll buy an adult beverage. I'll have an adult beverage with you one day of the month where I'm getting a little loose. So, if you guys see me out there, stop by. Wade, I'd like to thank you for coming on, talking a little shop. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, I was looking at that Minnesota play. Yeah, I kind of like that. -4.5. Yeah, I guess right now you guys can find me over at Proven Wagers VIP. Just make sure you put VIP after the Proven Wagers, because right now I'm trying to get my main account back. But if not, we will continue to work on that account and we'll grow that baby. So
it looks like the other account's been taken down, right?
I have no idea. I'm waiting for them to message me back. So I sent them plenty of emails, so I'm assuming they.
I mean, I haven't sent an email for you, and
yeah. And if not, it's not the end of the world. It's whatever. So we'll keep we'll build a new thing. So.
Yeah, it doesn't suck. I think that count's gone. One more question. Any futures you like? I hit my first future. I got Queens plus 375 to the window. Lost Northern Colorado. I took a flyer on Coastal Carolina. And there was one other team I had a future on that lost. I'm spacing on. But
I did not have any futures for college basketball this year.
I did conference tournaments. What'd I do? I did Clemson at 45-1. Not bad. Iowa State at 775 plus 775, and Purdue at plus 725. That's the only thing I did for my my futures. So, Wade, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show. Your baseball stuff that you do with Mike should be starting soon. Make sure to check that out. Great content that him and Mike pull out when they go doing some baseball stuff. I look forward to having you on during the baseball season, as you are a baseball wizard. Best of luck in all your bets. Make sure to check them out. Also, Wade's on my podcast every single week. There's a UFC card, so make sure to check that out. Best of luck in your bets. And you know what? We'll talk soon, my friend.
Appreciate you having me on, man.